country and classless. Like, she's just doing the most. I don't like it.
So sit back and relax. Melanie P. Talk to him.
With Melanie P. That's scary with Melanie P. Come on. Here we go.
Welcome to another episode of the That's Scary with... Ooh, not the podcast telling me to stop and end the show, you dirty scoundrels. Welcome to another episode of the That's Scary with Melanie P podcast, where we are here to heal. No, I'm playing. We're not here to heal, but we're here to have fun. We're here to just kiki. If you don't follow me on Instagram, and you should, if you do, you saw that I had recorded a whole episode last week for you, and the audio was fully messed up. So we did not have an episode last week. And that truly sucks, but we're back and we're better than ever and we are ready. So listen, if you're new, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And if you're returning, welcome to the family. Okay. I'm feeling really good. We always start each episode with a mental health check-in. And you know what? My mental is doing really good right now. And I'm going to tell you why. I had a conversation today with one of my good friends, one of my best friends, and it was just so good. Like, I feel like I say the same things every episode, but a support system, friends are so important because, to be honest with you, I wasn't having a good day and I didn't have a good weekend, but thank God for people that he puts in your pathway to be friends and supporters. So I'm grateful. My mental is really good. I have a picture of my dad right here, so that's giving me energy. I feel like he's watching me, very proud. But yeah, feeling good. Actually, work is going fairly well. No more heavy stress with work. So, God answered that prayer. I had a conversation with the spiritual healer, and long story short, he was telling me, you need to call on your ancestors to help you. And I've been doing that. I've been trying to get up in the morning and before I start work, do some grounding with my bare feet in the sun, and just talking to my ancestors, just asking them for help and guidance and to help my loved ones. Lord, help us. Went to church Sunday for the first time. I went to church. I've gone to church now. I've been to church, but I've been to church I'm on a mission to find a really, really good church home, because I feel like that's kind of been in my spirit lately. To get back into going to church every Sunday, like I've always done, growing up and even in my adulthood. Went to church. Not gonna lie, I wasn't really a fan of the church I visited, but I'm still gonna be on a quest to find a new church for me and my family. But something that he said in the service, so the service was talking about necessary endings, and he said something that really, really stood out to me. We're always having this conversation about 50-50 and he got to have this and she got to have that, blah, blah, blah. And this pastor was saying Sunday that, people are so infatuated and obsessed with how something looks on the outside, but they need to focus on what's in the inside. And when I was listening to him say that, it just really, it resonated with this whole toxic dating culture that we always talk about. We're always talking about superficial things, even with the soft life era and, everything. I feel like a lot of the stuff that we talk about now in this current state is things that are very superficial. If you look on YouTube, you'll see a lot of people talking about, here's my get ready with me, or here is my, self-care day, and not even self-care day, but they're called maintenance vlogs, and they're doing all these things to the outside, getting massages, getting your nails done, getting your hair done, all in a day, and they're videotaping it. But what are you doing to the inside, right? Even when you're dating, a lot of people don't deal with people, and listen, everybody is entitled to their own, but sometimes what looks good, and this is what a pastor said, he said, sometimes what looks good on the outside is not good on the inside. And he was basically saying about, focusing on what's in the inside. And that was really good. Also, on a mental health, subject of mental health, I had such a good conversation today with one of my best friends, and just kind of it's such a blessing. I know I just said this, but it's just such a blessing to like give encouraging words to each other. It put me in such a good mindset. Even like I have this coworker, this little kid that I be talking to, and he's not a little kid, but he's a little kid compared to me. And well, that's a bit much, but he's younger. And I feel like every time I meet people, whether friend or associate or whatever, and they speak to me and they speak to my life and they speak to my goals, I just know that that's somebody that God sent. And listen, look, been to church one time and trying to talk about this stuff, but it's true. It is so true. Like every time we all have stuff going on. I have stuff going on, and sometimes the enemy, will get you off track. And sometimes you are the enemy. Sometimes you are your own enemy and you'll get your own self off track. But I truly feel like when I'm in situations where random people just speak to me, and speak to my spirit and speak to my goals and motivate me. It's just such a true blessing. But listen, enough of the little sermon. I have a few topics to talk about and I'm really excited. So let's get started. Now, the first thing we're talking about today is something that I'm just so surprised to talk about. And it's the Know For Sure podcast has come to an end. Now, about 2 weeks ago, I think it's been, Simone put a post on her Instagram basically saying that, thank you for your support in supporting the Know For Sure podcast, but basically it ain't no more. And I kept thinking, this is so strange. Like, I know that they had a lot of back and forth. I know that they had an episode recently where, they talked about their friendship and basically their dying friendship and how they just Simone was specifically saying that she, wanted to have more so of a business relationship with Meg and Ashley, not as much a friendship anymore. And that thing I was like, wow, like their whole podcast was talking about and surrounding friendship and healing, and specifically healing friendships. And, the first problem that they run across, and I don't know if it's a first problem, but it's a big problem that it's kind of the first problem that we've seen. They decided to cancel their show. I mean, it's kind of eerie and it's kind of ironic, for them to have a podcast about friendship and healing and they couldn't heal their own friendship. I'm a really big fan of Simone. I think she's so funny. To be honest with you, I watched the Know For Sure podcast really like most of us only watch because of Simone. I think that you have the audience that watches it because of Simone, and then you have the audience that watches it or watched it because of Meg and Ashley. Listen, Meg and Ashley has a new podcast. I tried to listen to it, but one thing I liked about the Know For Sure podcast was the funny banter between Megan and Simone. I think when they first started, they didn't have a lot of guests. They just had a lot of good, healthy, engaging conversation about different topics amongst each other. And I enjoyed that. I'm not really a fan of all the woe is me, this sounds horrible, but I don't really want to hear them talking about healing every single podcast. You know what I'm saying? And that sounds horrible. It sounds really bad, but people got enough stuff going on in their life to where I just want to watch something to be entertained, honestly. I'll learn a little something from it, but sometimes their podcasts were starting to be like very just, kind of sad a little bit. So it's strange. It's funny because I was looking up YouTube videos just trying to get an idea of like what the hell happened. Like, was there something that actually happened? Because friendships fall apart all the time. And for them to be so highly invested in their podcast like they were, and then to just drop out the blue, like something had to have happened for them to be like, fuck you, like we're not friends anymore. Like that's strong. They unfollowed each other on Instagram. They're just not friends anymore. I listened to a clip. Now, I found like 1 or 2 videos all on YouTube. I mean, in the whole entire YouTube, I only found like 2 videos talking about the subject. And they had a very popular podcast, which is very surprising that there's not more, reports or commentary on their breakup. But I listened to audio from B. Simone basically just saying, yeah, I just want to be business friends, not real friends. And it's sad because Megan Ashley was her assistant. They had been best friends for 20 years because they always say that in the podcast. And B. Simone kind of wanted her to come from behind the scenes and come to the forefront of the scenes. And it just didn't work. It just really, really didn't work. And it's sad to see. But I really want to know what happened. I'm not going to lie. I want to know. I'm just really curious to know like what happened. Now, I know that Megan Ashley went through a really bad divorce. And I think Megan Ashley even moved to LA or wherever it is that B. Simone was to help B. Simone, but then also be fully invested in the podcast. So, it just makes you think. I know that Megan was saying, I've heard her say in several interviews or just in some of like the snippets that I've heard that, she didn't feel like B. Simone was as much of a friend to her and there for her throughout her divorce as she had been, to her. And that made me feel sad. And it made me kind of look at B. Simone sideways because it's like, I see people say a lot of negative stuff about B. Simone, but I think she's funny. So, but looking at what has transpired between them and looking at like some of again, I have only heard bits and pieces, but like what has kind of transpired. Ooh, did I spit? Ooh, I spit. Transpired, say that 3 times, between them and kind of how cold she was. It's like, how you be friends with somebody for 20 years and be like, oops, let's just be business partners. That's all I want. Knowing this lady done move, knowing this lady got these kids, knowing this lady battles with depression and anxiety, I think in bipolar. And I think she has issues of like, not having friends and being alone. And it's just like, damn girl, what happened to make you drop your friend of 20 years? And it's really, I don't think that Megan Ashley wanted to end the friendship. I think B. Simone wanted to end the friendship. And I just wonder why. It almost makes you think, with women, and with women, a lot of times, friendships be so sticky, man. Friendships be so damn sticky, and it sucks. It really sucks. But again, their friendship seemed like it could stand the test of time. Like it's kind of funny because I remember telling one of my friends, like, wow, I wish I had a relationship or a friend that was as close as B. Simone was to Megan Ashley. And I feel like it's just another example of how you don't wish what somebody else has because you never know what's going on behind closed doors, very sad. But listen, y'all ain't got to worry about that because my podcast is still here and you can still come to me for the shits and the giggles. I wish B. Simone and Megan Ashley the best. I'm not going to lie. I don't think I'm going to listen to Megan Ashley's podcast, man. I tried to listen to it. I wasn't impressed. I was bored. I like the podcast I listen to. I like to listen to them either for informational self-help, meaning like, I don't know, fun kind of self-help, but fun to it. And Megan Ashley just seems kind of dry to me. So I don't think that I'm going to, like I said, I tried to listen to one of her shows, but it just seemed very somber. So I might give her a little bit of time to kind of get her feet wet on having a podcast by herself and, get her feet wet. And I'll come back and I'll try to do it again, try to visit her podcast in another month to see how it goes. So next up, we have Keke. Do you love me? Are you riding? We have Keke Palmer. Now we've talked about her before on the show. And it's never been good because it's dealing with this bum she done had a baby by. Keke Palmer she's been in the headlines recently about her baby daddy, Darius. And it's very sad because it's gotten to a place where there's been domestic violence. And I can't say that I'm surprised. I really cannot say that I am surprised that it's reached a level of domestic violence. Here's the thing. it was such a red flag when her baby daddy, Darius Jackson, when he went on Twitter and posted, "You're a mom. Why are you dressed like that?" Like, why would he embarrass someone that he loves, like, on a public platform like that? He was giving very much insecure. He was giving very much little kid. He was giving very much just red flag call to play. So hearing that he put his hands on her, I'm actually not surprised. Now, what I am surprised is about some of the backlash that she has gotten because he has put his hands on her. So I have heard a lot of men, and specifically a lot of Black men, saying that, she's just gaslighting and she's just using her power against him because he doesn't have any power. He's basically a nobody compared to her. And she's just kind of throwing this domestic violence charge against him so she can get custody of the kids and not have to pay him any child support. And I was very, very, very disappointed in that kind of commentary because, I don't take Keke Palmer as a liar. I don't think, to my knowledge, she didn't really go in on her baby daddy as she could have for embarrassing her on Twitter. But I didn't like that. I saw a lot of comments from men just kind of, blaming Keke or saying that she's lying or whatever the case might be. And there's actual footage of this man putting his hands on her, throwing her phone. Like, that's a bitch. Like, this man is truly a bitch. No, the caliber of men nowadays can be so scary because, one thing that someone told me a long time ago that stuck with me: do not deal with people who have nothing to lose because they will help you lose everything. And I think that if I had to just gamble, I think that Darius Jackson is a very insecure man. I think he is probably a narcissist, probably, a gaslighter, all the key terms we use nowadays. And I think that some people was even saying, oh, here's the thing that really messed with me. People look at Keke Palmer. She's very happy. She's very jovial. She's very energetic. She's always fun, a good time. And I feel like they kind of use that against her when it comes to the situation with her child's father, because they're like, oh, well, you're so, I guess loud. And, you was out there with Usher dressed like that. And so, you're not going to let no man beat up on you. That is so stupid. Here's the thing. I've only been in a domestic situation one time. And I feel like Keke, I'm very outgoing. I like to laugh, I like to joke, I like to have fun. But domestic violence is real. And a lot of women don't even like to come out and tell their story, especially Black women, because we're always trying to protect, Black men. And it's just like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I'm just not surprised. I'm just really, truly not surprised. Now, what I hope does not happen is that she gets back with him, because one of the things I read is that, a typical narcissist will, do horrible shit to you and then cry when you try to leave, or, you know what I'm saying? Make promises of what they're going to do differently only to do the same thing in a month or two. So I just really hope. She's young, she's beautiful, she's rich, she's talented. She has a good support system, in her mom and from what I see. So she needs to leave now, run, hit the road now, then later. You know what I'm saying? I hate that she's going through this. I hate that there's a child involved, But one thing I'm learning as I get older is that, when people have children, you typically do not have children with someone that you can't see yourself living the rest of your life with. I think the goal in having a child is to, hopefully you marry before you have a kid, but if you're not, get married, have a family, and have a family with that child and let them grow up in a healthy environment. So, I can only speak from a woman's point of view, but, a lot of times women want to see potential. Women want to see the best in men and just not see the truth. Like, they want to see potential, not what's in their face sometimes. And they think they could save them. it's funny because I was looking at one of the episodes of the Steve Harvey show where Keke was on there, and she kept saying, and I don't know how old this episode was, but it had to be fairly old, because she kept saying that, Uncle Steve is always trying to get me to be with this millionaire, and I got this millionaire for you. And she was like, I don't want no millionaire. I just want a regular Joe Blow. And I'm like, girl, no, you don't. Like, it's okay. You don't want no regular Joe Blow. A regular guy, you know what I'm saying, who's can meet you where you are, yes. Maybe a tad bit under, but someone who's in your same socioeconomic circle is who you should be with. Because people like the man that you had a baby with, and Darius Jackson, or who the man that you had a child with, again, he has nothing to lose. Nobody even knew who he was until you had a child with him. You know what I'm saying? And again, the first red flag that we saw was him acting like an asshole and embarrassing her because of a dress she had on. The shit that's been going on behind closed doors that we haven't seen, i.e. him throwing her on the ground, i.e., him throwing her phone, that's just what was able to be recorded. That's just what we know. We have no idea what was going on behind those closed doors. So at the end of the day, I stand with Keke. Keke, run the hell away from this bum. Find you a new boo. And don't find you a new boo. You're so young. Raise your child. Have fun. Take the child to a sitter child. Take the child to your mama. Go out and have fun. It is what it is. I mean, I know that sounds horrible. What I'm saying is, don't let this man destroy your life, because you're too young, too beautiful, too talented. And men, please protect Black women at all cost. So the next topic is the Jeezy interview. Now, I'm recording a whole episode dedicated to the Jeezy interview later this week, because I was really, really, I was almost hypnotized by the aesthetics and the energy and the vibe of the interview. Oh my God, Nia Long, flawless, gorgeous, fun. I love a fun bitch. I love a fun, funny, laughter, strong woman, And I saw something on Instagram where she was like licking some chocolate off of a cake or something like that. I'm like, that's my kind of girl. Again, I'm gonna have a whole show dedicated to that, but Jeezy was looking good in the episode. Nia was looking good in the episode. A lot of conversation from Black women like, oh, he want to run back to Black women now that he done tried the Asian persuasion. And I'm gonna get into that in that episode. Please look out for that episode. But listen, anytime there's a Black man talking about healing, talking about therapy, talking about doing self-work, you can't say nothing negative against that. I think that's really not the first, but there's not a lot of times where you see Black men ODing talking about healing, talking about meditation, talking about therapy, talking about some of their trauma, talking about doing the work to get past their trauma. I was very surprised in how transparent he was in the interview, even talking about being molested in the interview. I mean, all you can do, honestly, is applaud him. And I hate to be like, I was listening to, what is his name? Raj in the morning, RAJ in the morning, fellow, podcaster person. And he was saying, Black women always give these Black men a pass. They always forgive you. And I'm not down for the forgiving. I don't even care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you be out here and you be dissing the Black women, I'll always look at you sideways. But with Jeezy, hearing his story, hearing his toxic relationship with his mom, hearing how he was molested, hearing how he, saw someone get shot very young, he has led a very tumultuous childhood and life. And I think that he is hurt, and he was hurt, and he still is hurt. But just talking about some of the things and the exercises that he did in therapy and how it took him back. There's a story that he told in that interview, and I'm gonna get into it in the other podcast, but there's a story that he said, where he said his therapist had him lay back, and basically he was able to connect with his inner child, and it was such a release for him, and it kind of helped him understand like some of his childhood trauma. and why he is the way he is with his son, and why he is the way he is, in relationships and stuff like that. And it was just very eye-opening, man. Like all I can do is like, seriously, where is my applause? All I can do is give him an applause, because I just love it. I love it. Like, we need more Black men in therapy. We need more Black men dealing with their trauma. We need the Black men taking the lead like Jeezy is, and pushing us to do the work to heal. You can't do nothing but respect that. So that's going to be another episode. It is what it is. Next on the docket, Lori Harvey. So, oh my God. Y'all got to stop coming for Lori Harvey. I mean, she is, or I guess was, dating Damson Idris. I hope I did not pronounce that wrong. And they coming for her because she broke up with him. Who cares? Like, who cares? She is young. She is only 26. She has no kids. She's not married. What else is she supposed to be doing but dating rich men? Like, I don't understand it. Like, men do this all the time. Men bounce from woman to woman all the time. You know what I'm saying? Shit, but half the time they get them pregnant. At least you don't have no babies out here by no bums. So at the end of the day, again, people coming for Lori Harvey for being a 26-year-old beautiful woman dating rich men. I don't see any problems in that sentence at all. Like, no problems. Now she was out here being ratchet, and she even doing it in a classy way. Like, she not out, you don't see her out here ever being ratchet. You don't ever see her out here, again, she hasn't gotten pregnant by these bums, not even Future. Thank God. So she's smart enough to do that. She's just dating to find the right one. What else would she do? Everybody I know, half the people I know are in toxic relationships, and they're stuck with people who they don't want to be with. So you mad at her because you didn't do what she did, and you didn't take the time to date and find the right person? I applaud. Listen, another applause goes out to Lori Harvey. Like, I stand with you. Like, more women need to be like that. More women need to be, clean, classy. I'm not sure why I said clean, but put together, classy, and just, running through these men until they find someone that they want to be with. Period, point blank. She's not 40. She's not 50. She's 26. What else would she be doing? Like, it doesn't make any sense, like, that she gets all this negative play. Like, it's just really, really weird. Now, the last two things I'm going to talk about are things that have been really interesting to me. So, if you know, now you know. If you don't, now you know. I love me some Real Housewives of Potomac, and I love me some Medicine Wives, okay? Wow. So if you don't know, last weekend, Real Housewives of Potomac and what I call them the Medicine Wives, but what is it really called? Married to Medicine and the Real Housewives of Potomac premiered last week, and they had their second episode last night. And when I tell you, I'm probably going to have to do separate episodes just dedicated for those shows weekly, because it's just a lot. But I'm going to give you a quick little recap of just the first two episodes and my takeaways, and then we'll do a whole episode for them each week. Okay, so make sure you subscribe. All right, so here are my takeaways from the first two episodes. And I don't know whether or not I want to start with this or if I want to end with this, because, okay, let's start with Real Housewives of Potomac. First two episodes. Karen looks amazing. Karen is killing them. Karen is 60 years old, and she's stunting on these girls. She's looks beautiful. Again, she is so classy. She's so gorgeous to me. She's so classy. She's so well spoken. I just love a classy bitch. She's classy, well spoken, well put together. Just very classy. I love it. I love her. She looks good. I feel like every season she looks better and better. Period, point blank. Mia. Ugh, God, Mia. Now, again, Mia, I like Mia. I've actually met Mia here in Charlotte, partied with her when I was out there in the streets. And fun lady, beautiful lady. I feel bad for Gordon because, rumor has it that they're no longer together. They are separated. And, kind of watching her and Gordon on this first 2 episodes, it made me feel sad because Gordon seems like a really, really good guy. He gives me the kind of guy that older guy with money bought this woman, assumed that this woman would be with him forever. But when the money ran out, she ran out. And it's sad. He looks like he's aged in the past 2 seasons, which is sad. I really, truly feel like he loves Mia. And I do think that Mia loves him, but I think that Mia loves her lifestyle, or a particular lifestyle, a little bit more. And I feel bad. I really feel bad for that. There's a different look in her eye when it comes to it. Just in the past 2 episodes, I feel like there's a different look in her eye towards him. The love doesn't seem to be there as much. And here's the thing: never be with somebody strictly because of money, because child, that money will run out and you are just left there to like be there. So, you know, Mia and Gordon, you know, whatever. Nothing much really about Candace. She's still singing and doing her 1-2 step. Ashley bought a house. She's really I can't think of a word to describe Ashley. I think she's really sneaky. And can sometimes play both sides of the fence. Now, I did fuck with her heavy because last year when they were coming for my girl Wendy, she had her back. And so she kind of won me over. With that. But it's something about her, and I can't put my finger on it, but it's something about Ashley Darby that I can't put my finger on it. It's a reason why Candace and her don't get along, and it's something, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to describe it as the season goes on. But I think she's a nice lady, but it's something about her. I can't put my fingers on it. But shit, listen, her baby daddy bought her a house. You know what I'm saying? Put her name on it. So I'm not mad at her. Live your life in your beach house in Maryland and with your kids. Talking about, you know, she's struggling with her kids. Got a whole nanny, girl. Bye. People out here doing this without no nannies. So at the end of the day, I salute any woman who, you know what I'm saying, can get with somebody and, you know, be taken care of. That's what we all want, to be taken care of. And so at the end of the day, he's not even with her anymore and he's still taking care of her. So I gotta applaud that. Wendy, you know, I don't really know. I don't really even remember seeing her on the first episode, which is kind of scary, but, you know, she's back. She looks good. She looks really, really good. She has these dumb business ideas, and I know that's horrible to say, but I'm just going to give you my raw opinion. Like every season, I feel like she has some new idea, and that's giving fake storyline. I don't like that. But I love just seeing her beautiful husband, her beautiful family. I love it. I think it's a great representation of the Black family. And that's about it for her. Nothing really has gone on with her. Robin and Giselle. Where this is what I need for them, child. I don't know how Robin keep getting back on this show, and I don't know who I gotta call because Robin really gets on my nerves. Like, listen, no, it's no bad blood with Robin. I don't know her. She don't know me. I'm sure she watches my episode. But it's like, she's so dry to me. She's really given Giselle's pawn. I don't think she could stand on her own 2 feet on this show if Giselle was not on the show. I don't know how she makes it back on the show every single season. She's not giving much. Her husband, who barely say 2 words, is giving way more than she does, and she's actually an actual housewife on the show. Listen, Juan looking good. I say that he looking really good. Now he seemed to be a liar. I don't know. I can't put so when I was kind of preparing for the show, I was like, you know what, is he telling the truth? Maybe he is telling the truth. But then I remember that they divorced initially because he cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like, he cheated before. And so he's probably cheating again. And listen, I don't condone cheating. I truly don't. But Robin is giving very much dry and boring, and there's nothing worse than a boring, dry, can't hold a conversation partner. And I thought that they were kind of one and the same until either it was last season or the season before, when he was complaining about her just laying in a bed, getting up late, not wanting to exercise, you know what I'm saying? Just being kind of boring and lazy. And I was like, ooh, that's not good. That's not good. He wanted her to get up with him, go for a walk, do these things, and she wanted to sleep. And that's not good. Yeah, that was like, that's a red flag. It's a red flag because he complaining about you being lazy, girl. That's a red flag. She gives me one of the boys. Like, she don't give me feminine energy woman. She gives me one of the boys. And even when she comes on, like this season, I've seen her a couple of times and she has on like a dress and it just looks weird. It looks really weird to me. She got a dumb look on her face. Yeah. I don't know how she makes it back on. I don't know how she makes it back on every season. It's just so tiring. We'll see what she's giving this season. Now Giselle is still messy. She'll forever be messy. I don't know if I liked when Giselle kind of had that intervention with her best friend Robin. I thought that was kind of weird, but I don't think Giselle is really friends with anybody. I think Giselle is friends with a chick. And I think that Giselle will do anything for a storyline. I think Giselle will do anything to stir the mess up. And I think that her and Ashley have that in common. I didn't like how, Giselle, you are too old to still be mad at Wendy. Wendy ain't do nothing to you. And she didn't do nothing to you that was worse than the shit that you've said to other women and done to other women on all these seasons. It just really shows jealousy. Like it screams, I'm jealous of Wendy. She'd never admit it. I think she's very jealous of Wendy, her family, and the fact that Wendy's not kissing her ass. I think that's what makes, Giselle kind of mad, because Wendy's very confident. Giselle gets on my nerves. I mean, I like Giselle. I think she's a pretty lady. But I just feel like she's too messy. And I think that it's something giving colorousness about how she treats Wendy. I don't like it. I just truly don't like it. And she did the same thing similar with, what's the other girl who got divorced? Monique. She did the same thing with Monique. And I'm like, girl, is it women who are of a different color that you don't like? You know what I'm saying? What is it giving? I think here's the thing. What she needs to understand, and this is what I truly feel, and I've done some research on this, which is minimal, but I've done some research on this. Can I say this? All I'll say is that I think that Giselle is one of those women who is used to being a pretty woman, who is used to using her looks to get things that she wants. And she's been able to get everything she wants except for her husband. And I think that when she sees people like Monique and like Wendy, it just triggers her, because that should be her in her mind. And I'm going to leave it at that. Lastly, or second to last, what's her name? I started to call her Charlemagne. What's the lady that they keep trying to call the Grand Dame? What is her name? Charlene? Damn, what is her name? What is this damn lady name? Jesus, now I gotta look it up. Let me see. Real Housewives the cast. Cause she really gets on my nerves. She really truly gets on my nerves. What is her name? Yeah, of course, they don't even got. She get on. I guess she get on the website nerves too, because they didn't even got her name on here. But anyway, Charisse. Charisse. Like, when she come on the show, I feel like she lowers the caliber of the show. Like, when she comes on the show, it goes from like rich, nicely dressed, beautiful women to like her. And I don't like it. I wish they would stop bringing her on the show. Her and Robin, find their replacements. Like, I am really tired of them. They don't add any value to the show. Their look doesn't fit the show. Why is Charisse there? Now they have a new person, and I don't want to mess her name up. She is Nigerian. Her name starts with an N, and I don't want to mess it up, so I'm not even going to attempt to say it. But matter of fact, I should attempt to say it actually. Oh wow, and now I done lost my notes. a new girl from Nigeria. I'm loving her. I love a beautiful black woman. That sounds really gay. She is new. Her husband is a doctor. She is a lawyer, and I think she's just a beautiful woman. I think now she had a lot of makeup. I will say that she had on a whole lot of makeup. And I wasn't really a fan of that, but I liked her. I liked her a whole lot. Her name is, I don't want to fuck it up, but it's Nika, Nnekaihim. I think it's Nanika. Maybe it's Nanika. Please forgive me. I'm gonna get that right next time. But she is from Wisconsin. She moved to Maryland. She has homes everywhere. She's living the soft life. She's living the rich life. She's living the life that we all want, with a rich man, with her little baby dog, Now she's having issues having a baby and conceiving, and that's pretty sad, but I'm sure she'll have her baby because they're rich. But I like her. Now, I think she's going to give us a little something. I think she's a good addition to the show. So I'm eager to see what she's going to bring to this season. I just love to see a tall, brown-skinned, beautiful, rich woman, because it's what I should be. So I just love to see it. I'm here for it. I'm excited to have her on this season. Now, before we close, Lord Jesus, I got to close with this piece, man. The Medicine Wives. Married to Medicine, y'all. So listen, the only thing that I can say about this show is Sweet Tea. Now, I have seen Sweet Tea, which is Dr. G's now wife, then fiance on the show. I've seen her in pictures. I've seen her in, just in pictures, just in random pictures on social media. But seeing her in action is a different story. Seeing her in action, seeing her live is a different story. And it's not even 100% because of her looks. It's just she almost sounds a little bit ignorant to me. Trying to throw digs at Quad. I'm sorry. I'm Team Quad. I'll say it again. I'm Team Quad. It was a lot of conversation about her moving. Listen. It was a lot of conversation about her moving into Dr. G's home, which is his ex-wife's old home. And listen, I hate to say that I have done that. It is what it is. The difference is I was ashamed. Listen, I got my own house. You know what I'm saying? So moving into another man's house that he had with another woman is something I never thought I would do, never wanted to do, don't even like to be doing it right now. It is what it is. But I'm ashamed of that shit. I'm ashamed of it. She was very boastful about it and showing it off and trying to throw shade about having to get the demons out of the house. I wouldn't, if that was me, I wouldn't even there's no way. And here's the thing, it would be different if she upgraded the home, but her version of the house and the decor in comparison to Quad's version of the house and the decor is, what can I say that's not going to offend somebody? It's like Beverly Hills is Quad's aesthetic, and the slums of New York is Sweet Tea's aesthetic. I don't like it. And there's nothing to brag about. And if you're going to come for somebody and have your little digs with somebody, you can't look like that. You can't design like that. You can't dress like that. You can't have a body like that. Come on. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk like that. They keep talking about how her butt is missing. Listen, and I don't want to bash nobody. I really, really don't. But I feel like I'm more inclined to bash her because she tried to come for Quad. And it's I think having her on this season is definitely going to give ratings. It's definitely going to give people something to look at, because it's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You went from Quad to Sweet Tea. What kind of name is that? That's ridiculous. She was bragging about how her body's natural. Nothing to brag about. It's nothing to brag about. You probably could use some work. Nothing to brag about. And then bragging about being in a, almost a sugar mama or sugar baby Facebook group. Didn't like that. Don't like how she talked. Don't like her teeth. Don't like her mouth. Don't like her chin. Don't like her butt. Don't like her boobs. I mean, it's just too much. It's just too much. But I will say this, because I don't want to be negative after all of that. She's being authentic to herself. But don't come around talking about, oh, his money. Or, I don't know. I just don't like that. Like, be humble. I'm not saying be no bitch or be no pedestal, but be humble at least. Like, come in with ease, Don't come in with digs. And then when people give you the digs back, now you somewhere crying. She doesn't really exude class to me. Now, I had to look at Dr. G, because I think Dr. G is a very attractive man. I really do. I think he's a very attractive man. I think he's very desperate for kids. And I think that's why I think I remember him and Quad having an issue, because I don't know if she couldn't have kids or if she didn't want kids. And I know that was a big strain in their marriage. And so this lady wanted kids, and how she jumped in his DM was just like, ew, I mean, again, I applaud her for that. If you see something you want, go after it. I would do the same. Well, yeah, I might do the same thing. If I wanted something, I might do the same thing. But hers just seems so like country and classless. Like, she's just doing the most. I don't like it. And it seems like it gets worse. Like, we're only on episode 2 and she's already like on some, y'all will come over here, y'all. You want to come over here, y'all? Like, it's just giving too much, child. Like, you're a doctor's wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it. There's going to be an evolution of sweet tea. People on their first season always come in there looking like country bumpkins. And then after the second or third season, then they're polished. I mean, if you look at Wendy from first season and look at her now, it's not a big difference, but you can tell that she's more refined. She was always classy. She was always, whatever, but she's just refined her look more to kind of fit into the housewives look. And I'm hoping that, Sweet Tea will do the same, because it's not giving what it should be giving. Like, and she's talking about these women, oh, they're old enough to be her mom. But girl, you look like a mama. Like, they look good. And that's not, again, these digs are not working. Like, your shade is not shading, because it's like these women are older than you, yes, but they look better than you. So Quad might be older than you, but she look better than you. So don't do the digs. If she would have came in, sat her ass down, and just kind of, whatever, maybe it wouldn't be so harsh. But she's just doing the most, and hopefully she remind me of somebody I know. And I wish I could say who it was, but maybe next season she'll be refined. Now, I will say, Heavenly. I enjoy Heavenly. I definitely enjoy Heavenly. I truly, truly, truly enjoy Heavenly. She's fun. And I hate to do this, because, you never know what somebody got going on behind closed doors. I love her marriage. I love what I see from her marriage. Her husband seems to be very demure, very quiet, but very strong in a quiet way. And, women be wanting that shit. Women want a quiet but strong man. That's what women want. I like him, and I like their marriage, and I like their respect for each other. So I'll say that. I'm looking forward to what's coming next season, or this season. But listen, I hope you enjoy the show. I really hope you enjoy this show. I hope you come back. I hope you go to my Instagram, that's scary_podcast. Make sure, do yourself a favor. Listen, life is hard. I don't want to say that, because I'm trying to change my self-talk. So life is easy. Listen, we're going to change our self-talk together. Life is easy. Life is abundant. Life is amazing. And while life is amazing, one thing to make your life even more amazing is subscribing to the channel and listening to all this good stuff and having this conversation. Make sure you email me. I got an email. I keep forgetting to check my emails, but I have an email to thatscarypodcast@gmail.com. Somebody wrote in for my advice, and I keep forgetting to read it, but I did not forget about you, and I'm going to read it on my next episode. So make sure that you use the email, thatscarypodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Make sure you follow me on all my social medias. Listen, if you go to my Instagram and you go into the bio, you're going to see a link. And in that link is going to be access to my Patreon, because we got some new exciting private content coming. And there's also going to be links to my Amazon store, and there's some good shit in there. Everything that I have in there is because I use it. And I'm going to have a separate video showing you that and showing you how I use it and why I like it. So make sure that you go and click the link in my bio on my Instagram and go pick up you some stuff from Amazon. But listen, thanks so much for coming to this week's episode. I will make sure to see you back here next week with a new episode.